Alright guys, what you saying? Back with another video. So, the footage in the background is 3 back-to-back games I had in Ranked in Division 19. I finally got to Division 20, I'm in Division 20 right now. But yes, I recorded, or I saved this clip a little while ago. I don't specifically make videos anymore, but I do save some clips, just in case I fancy uploading them. So, yeah, enjoy the footage in the background. So, anyways, I just got done watching one of Naz UFC videos. Shout out to Naz UFC. Yeah, if you've not watched him or heard of him, go and give him a watch. Extremely high skill player, one of the best in the world, and on top of that, he's extremely exciting to watch. So yeah, go and check him out if you get a chance. But anyways, one of the things he points out in his video is that the game is made for new players, right? I'm not going to go into why that's the case. Just go and check out his latest video if you want some more information on why this game is specifically designed for newer players. Because this video is purely about how long it takes to get good at UFC. So, if you're considering picking up the game and playing it, there's a couple of things to bear in mind. So, going back to Naz's video, he says that a lot of people pick up the game, get smashed a few games in a row, and then stop playing. And then they shit on the game. Which is absolutely true. If you look at the PlayStation Store, you've got essentially 13,000 reviews at 3.1 star. Now, by no means, this game is not a 5-star game, and it's not even close, and it shouldn't be. It's definitely closer to 5-star in my opinion, because I'm better at it, right? So I have 403 hours in this game, and I have only just gotten to Division 20. That shows you how long it takes to actually get good at this game. Right, there's not many game modes, so I'm going to disregard the new game mode they've just added, because that's only just been added. We've went over a year with no kind of game mode, so I'll disregard it for this video. But the game's got no game modes, right, so there's not much to do. So when you pick up this game, you're essentially just fighting other players. And the way that this game keeps you involved is it's extremely satisfying to beat somebody. It's you against one other person, and if you lose, it's your fault. I know you can count things like, oh, the game was lagging and blah blah blah, but generally it's your fault. And if you lose, you should analyze why you lost, look at why you lost, what you could do better, and then go back to the game and learn from your mistakes, right? So the reason that that's happening is because the reason the reviews are so low, or not many people can get into the game, is because of how long it takes to actually get good at. Right? I play a lot of people that are in Division 20 and I beat them. I'm going to be using Division 20 as a baseline, because that's, if you're in Division 20, I'm not going to say you're one of the best in the world, but you're pretty close, right? You're definitely top 30%, that's for sure. So yeah, a lot of new people will pick up the game, they'll have 2 or 3 games, or even up to 10 games, right? They'll use some of their favourite fighters, they'll go on online quick match, and they'll get smashed. Because anybody with more than sort of 50 hours, which is a lot of players by the way, is going to be able to beat you. And it is as simple as that. It's very rare to find somebody that's not actually got that much experience. So what you tend to find is you'll go in a game, you'll maybe play up to 10 with some of your favourite fighters, and then you'll get beat every game. You'll struggle to get knockdowns, you'll struggle to do anything. You won't know the ground game, you won't know the submissions, you won't know how to clinch, you won't know all the combinations, you won't know how to use head movement. And all of those things actually take a significant amount of time to learn. Unfortunately, this game is, although the mechanics are based towards new players, like high block health, high body health, almost impossible to get leg TKOs, Like, the game is designed for new players, but it is not a new player friendly game. I mean, it's absolutely far from it. You think about COD, right? You jump on it, you play 4, 5, 6, 7 games, an hour and a half. All you need to learn is how to move your analog sticks. Hold L2, hold R2, aim and shoot. That's it. That's all you're learning. It doesn't matter what guns you run. It doesn't matter what attachments, perks, blah, blah, blah. This game is completely different. So, this game, I'm going to break it down into a few sections. So, first of all, as I mentioned, I've got 402 hours in the game. UFC 5, I've got 277 in UFC 4. And again, I'll reiterate, this is the first time I've been in Division 20 on UFC. The first time. Yes, most seasons I get 18 or 19, but as far as I'm concerned, when I play this game, I'm not progressing to anything, so the only thing I want is Division 20. When I can be bothered with paying absolute 101% attention to the game, because when you get to that stage, it requires that. Every game is so difficult. Well, again, this is coming from a relatively above average player, right? Some people that are way better than me will disagree with that statement, but as quite a bit above average, I would say when I go on rank now, every game is a task, or every fight is a task, and I've got to be in the mood for that. Because I've got a full-time job, I'm not always in the mood for that, so I don't have as many hours as what I probably should, because I've got to be in the mood to really concentrate, and I can't after a long day's hard work, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's talk about it, right? You jump on the game, you've just bought it. Yeah, you need to learn striking. So if we just forget ground game and everything to begin with, right? You jump on, you've got to learn striking. There is so many moves, there is so many combinations, and there's so many modifying moves. So like if you press square or X, I think it is on Xbox, right, you'll throw a jab if you're in the orthodox stance, right? If you hold L1, that'll turn into a lead hook. If you hold R1 or RB, that'll turn into an uppercut. These are all things you need to know by muscle memory. The moment you have to think about the game, you're at a disadvantage. So that's why it takes so long to learn. So you jump on anyway, you try to learn the striking. So you've got to learn all the moves. That probably takes a minimum of 20 hours to do, right? 20 hours. For somebody to pick up a game and not be able to enjoy it for the first 20 hours, no one's going to continue playing. So I understand why not a lot of people actually continue playing the game, and why a lot of people think it's bad, because they've not given themselves time to learn. So you've got the striking, right? We'll say a minimum of 20 hours. And then, once you've learnt the striking, if you started learning in orthodox, you've then got to go to southpaw, right? That then takes another 20 hours, because what you're doing is, you're pressing all the same buttons, but in reverse. So every button you pressed beforehand, you now need to remember that it's the opposite button. So, orthodox, square is jab, it's now triangle when you go to southpaw. That took me like 20 hours to learn. Halfway through UFC 5, I decided, I need to learn how to play southpaw, because not only are some of the best fighters in southpaw, Conor McGregor, Sean O'Malley, blah, 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 I need to learn it, so I'm not at a disadvantage. So I then spend another 20 hours learning how to do both, right? There's 40 hours that it takes just to learn the striking. And I'm not joking when I say it takes an incredibly long time. And it takes even longer if you don't play the game consistently. So you've now got the striking. We could then go one step further and go even advanced and say head movement, right? Head movement should be used in a very specific way. Some of it is guesswork, some of it is luck, but the rest of it is because you know what type of strike is going to come after the strike that's just been thrown. So you've got head movement. You've then got to be able to learn how to... So if somebody throws a lead hook at you and you sway it, and you throw an uppercut of your own, your opponent might then slip that. You've then got to slip your next opponent's strike. So this is just all striking. And then we look at the clinch, learning how to do the clinch. And then we look at how to grapple. The grappling probably takes longer than the striking does because there is so much to the grappling system. And then the submission system. Like, this game takes an insane amount of time to learn. Honestly. No one can pick this game up and learn it in 10 hours. It is absolutely impossible. If you do, if you can pick up this game and learn it in 10 hours, right, the only thing you'll be able to learn in 10 hours is basic strikes, basic combinations, and basic ground game. That's it. You will not be able to play in 2 stances within 10 hours and consistently throw what you want to throw. So it's like, people only play the game for an extremely short amount of time, and they don't go out their way to learn it. This is not a game you can pick up and learn within 10 hours and just get on your feet. If you do learn the basics of all 3 things, striking, grappling, I can't even remember what I said there, like clinch, that type of stuff, like, so striking and grappling, if you learn the basics, then you will be able to beat most mediocre players, right? And when I say mediocre, I'm talking people with up to like 20, maybe 30 hours max. The moment you go above that, or fight somebody that's got more hours than 30 hours, you're done for, because your opponent knows how to use head movement more. They know how to defend takedowns. They know what strikes to use, what combinations are powerful, what combinations aren't powerful. You know, they know all these things, which is going to make your life a lot harder than it needs to be. But the only way to pick up this game and get good at it is to play it. Play the hell out of it. As long as you enjoy fighting games, this is a good game. The core mechanics of the game is good. The body health is dog shit. I hate the submission system. I hate the fact that if you know the exploit to avoid players jumping on you, then that's just annoying, man. Those things shouldn't be in the game. You know, there's definitely issues with the game, but you absolutely have to learn it to get over those issues. Otherwise, it's just not going to be a fun time. But at the other end of the stick, I don't blame people for jumping on and losing 5 games in a row and not wanting to play anymore. That's boring. But they can't simplify the controls any more than what they currently are, because yeah, it wouldn't be great. There is simplified controls for new players, but there's no point in starting them. You need to learn the buttons from day one. Otherwise, you're just, again, at a huge disadvantage. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this has kind of changed your minds on some things. But anyway, guys, take it easy. I will see you all next time.